My name is Cameron. I'm a brand ambassador for Porsche Conshohocken, and today we're going to conduct a virtual test drive of the 2020 Porsche Cayenne. Just a note, so if this production seems a little amateurish, it's because it's being filmed by me and the traffic cone that's currently holding the camera. Produced, edited, the whole 9 yards, and it's ad-lib. I do apologize if I misstate something here and there. I would like to think I'm fairly knowledgeable on our product line, but could happen that in the excitement of the filming, I might get something wrong. But the Cayenne is Porsche's largest SUV. Porsche has two SUVs. We've got the Cayenne and we've got the Macan, the smaller SUV. And I think that you're going to see that it truly is a phenomenal vehicle. In the entry-level Porsche Cayenne, you're getting a 3-liter turbocharged V6 that's producing 335 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque. A lot of people think, it's a big, heavy car. Is it really going to have enough power? And as you'll see during this test drive, plenty of power. Now, the Cayenne lineup does start with the entry-level base Cayenne Hybrid. You have the Cayenne S, the Cayenne S Hybrid, the GTS, the Turbo, and the Turbo S. Now, granted, you're starting out at roughly at about $75,000 as a base for this vehicle on up to the high six figures. So it really depends on what you're looking for. So talking about options, one of my favorite options on the Cayenne is called the Sport Design Front Fascia with lower trim painted to match. So this area that you're looking at right here, this grille and this surface, I will show you what a Cayenne looks like without this as an option, but the Sport Fascia is this option here, the Sport Design. So you're getting a different look up front, and what it does is it actually really ends up giving you a very striking, much sportier appearance than your typical Cayenne. This one has the sport tailpipes in black. You'll see that here. Now, for those of you that are familiar with Porsche, you'll know that Porsche has always been known to provide a ton of different options. And sometimes it can be overwhelming and confusing for customers. So in the last few years, Porsche started to offer packages, Premium Package Plus, which include the options that you could individually handpick at a somewhat reduced price. But just let's go over. So in this case, we've got one of my favorite wheels. They're the 21-inch RS Spider design wheels. Now, from a wheel perspective and a tire perspective, you do have a lot of different options, and we typically at Porsche Conshohocken try and order cars in a variety of different wheel sizes and looks. For, certain people have certain preferences, and we try and meet those needs to the extent that we can. Another thing I want to point out here, that one of the options when you're getting upgraded wheels is to also get the wheel arches painted to the body color. So this portion in the paneling that comes along here on a Cayenne, without this selected as the option, is going to be black. So if you're looking at some of the Cayennes, you could potentially see a white Cayenne or light colored Cayenne with black trim going around the wheels. That would be a car that doesn't have this particular option. Again, going along with the theme of options here, this bottom half of the mirror in Cayenne standard, it's going to be black. That's also an option where you're getting this bottom portion painted in an exterior to match. As we walk along the side of the car, the trim that's going along the windows, this is the option that's called exterior trim in high gloss black. So without this option, you're going to have chrome. So the Porsche Cayenne is the perfect blend between performance and comfort and luxury. One of the great features of the Cayenne is that not only is it incredibly comfortable and luxurious in the front of the vehicle, but as well at the back. I wanted to demonstrate. So you're sitting in the back of the Cayenne, and this is standard in all Cayennes. You can actually, with this lever here, adjust the incline, of your seat from this position forward, and I will demonstrate it again this up close. And you can actually slide your seat forward and backward as well. Now, why would you ever want to do this, right? You might ask. Well, if you ever put suitcases in your car and they just barely fit, but not quite, so all of a sudden, you've ended up with that much more cargo space. So remember, these seats do fold flat. 40, 20, 40 split. I will demonstrate that here. Got your handle here. As easy as that. How easy was that? So you can keep a portion of the back up, you can fold it in its entirety, whichever way
you know that you need to do so. Again, lift up the handle and your seat is back. So this vehicle is equipped with entry and drive. So you have your key. Ordinarily you could unlock and lock your vehicle.
As long as the key is, you know, in my pocket, for example, I can walk up to any door, put my hand inside the door handle, and it'll unlock the vehicle, permitting me to open it. But on any door, there's an indentation. If I touch, it'll lock the car. Now, another nice feature is that in the rear end of the car, so you got a bag full of groceries, you're walking up to the car, simply take your foot, wave it underneath, voila! Of course, while we're videoing it, it can't happen the first time, but it does work, obviously.
At Porsche Conshohocken, we take your safety, and fortunately our owner takes our safety as the staff places at the highest regard. So we were one of the few dealerships that actually closed to customers prior to the governor's order. I do want to make sure that you guys know for certain that we're taking every precaution possible to ensure that all the vehicles are properly sanitized, disinfected, and marked accordingly. Now, Porsche has sent us a drum of material that's made to actually disinfect and sanitize the interior, but not harm the leather, so that's terrific as well. So I wanted to take a moment and show you what you see when you first sit inside your Cayenne. So again, we've got entry and drive, which means the key actually stays in our pocket, and this is just a dead key. It stays in the car. It will not turn the car on if the keys are not in the car, but once they are, foot on the brake. Now look, seriously, look how beautiful this is. You've got a silhouette of your car. Got the odometer there. This car has 301 miles on it now. When you turn your car on, if this car were programmed to me, it would say, "Hello, Cameron," and it would welcome me to my car, and it would literally have all of the driver settings that I have, from my music to my seat to my air conditioning, all memorized according to my preference. Here, the arrow will bring it back out. Oh, look, perfect timing. Car is running low on fuel. Could not have planned this better myself. It is telling me here you need gas, and if we switch over to our PCM over here, it is also saying, "Excuse me, but you are running low on fuel. Search for a gas station nearby." We hit search, and now it's telling me 1,000 feet in this direction, 1.6 miles in that direction, 1.6 miles in this direction, and as well showing it on a map. And if I were to, and look to the right, it's actually showing our gas prices. So let's see, do I want to pay $3.31 or $2.59? Yes, folks, the gas prices do seem a little bit high because the area that I live, if we scroll down and go a little further away, you're getting some better gas prices. So 2.5 miles, $2.13. Sounds like a good deal to me. Click. Now, before you even start route guidance, if you notice, it is telling me you will arrive at approximately 640, 2.6 miles, and it is even giving me a phone number to call the gas station if I need to. I've now calculated my route. So let's say we're driving down the road and you notice, oh, I'm almost out of gas. We can use the button on the left stalk over here. Where is the nearest gas station?
Searching for gas station at the location.
System will show you the nearest gas station.
Excuse me.
Number 2.
POI was accepted. Start route guidance.
How incredible is that? So the system actually listened, provided me a list of what I was looking for. I did all of it hands-free, even selecting the number, which gas station I want to go to, and it picked it. So I can actually, in the Cayenne, as well as the 911 and the Macan and the Panamera now, scroll down and have my map displayed over here as well as over here if I'd like. We just showed you how you could solicit from the vehicle using your voice control button here a location or a point of interest that would have as well worked, let's say for example, if we'd said take me to Bob's house and Bob is in your contacts. But one of my favorite things about the Porsche navigation system is, watch this. A lot of cars, you can set a destination and it'll show you how to get there, but you can't turn the darn thing off. Well, in a Porsche, your stop button is literally right here. You've now ended the navigation and do not have to continue to listen once you've figured out where you're going. So this particular Cayenne is equipped with an option I absolutely loved. It's called Adaptive Air Suspension, including PASM, P-A-S-M, which also stands for Porsche Active Stability Management. Now, PASM gives you the option to control, okay, and you see there's two different on portions and then off. And if we go over here, you're going to see that it's going to show you Sport, Sport Plus, and Normal. PASM, and I'll do that again over here. PASM, or PASM, is giving you the ability to control the level of dampening within your shocks. Now, when it's coupled with the adaptive air suspension, which is controlled over here, that gives you the ability to adjust the vehicle's ride height. And you see four options here. So low, because I put it in sport, the vehicle automatically dropped us down to the low, which is going to give us less drag in the air, better aerodynamics. Then there's regular, and the car will literally start to creep its way up. There's high, and then there's terrain. So I was just talking about the paddle shifters and the automatic transmission in the Cayenne. I've just used the left paddle, put us in first, now second, third. The paddle stays to the right hand side. On the right hand side is the up or higher gears, left is lower gear, so back to 3, 4, 5, and I can go all the way on up to 8. Now at any point, if I stop using the paddles, the car will automatically revert back to its automatic operation and will then take over. But at any point in time I want, let's say I'm coming down this hill, I don't want to tap my brakes, but I'd like to slow down a little bit, I can use the paddle, drop it down to 4, drop it down to 3. The car's electric management system will not let me over rev, so I cannot damage the engine by doing this. It will keep me from over revving. Pause real quick. The little A here, you probably can't see it. The car is on. If I had the air conditioning on, it would still be working, but the engine is now shut off. It's doing this to help preserve gas and the environment while you're stationary. As soon as I put my foot on the gas, car is back on. Notice there was no hesitation. I didn't have to wait. It's very seamless, very fluid. You can override that. You can go into car settings here and start stop. If you press this button, it will not shut off at intersections now. People ask me that question all the time. Now we're gonna make a turn, downshift 5, 4, 3. Don't even have to use the brakes. Accelerate out of the turn. If I want more power, down to second, and third, and fourth, and so on and so forth. Pull that up. And now in Sport Plus, it's dropping us down to low. And all of this happening without you even noticing. So now we're at the car's lowest operating height, as you saw. We have our stiffest suspension setting now and our most responsive as far as gear shifting. So what will happen now, the car will stay later in each individual gear, and as you slow down to go into a curve, it'll actually downshift more quickly as well. But the car is really meant to just give you the type of performance that you expect from a Porsche. So, I mean, this is an SUV, it's a large SUV, but it really is meant to be driven, as I mentioned, like a sports car. It was originally born out of a sports car. As you can see, handles very well, just like you would expect from a Porsche. I get to demonstrate one of my favorite features in the Cayenne. This is an option in the Cayenne. It's also one in the Panamera, and it's called ambient lighting. So we can switch over the car and the vehicle. Now, if you notice over here, it says ambient lighting, dark orange, gives you a color wheel, and you can actually select, this is my favorite color. And what it does is it creates this very positive, comfortable, relaxing feeling within the car that just, I love it. Makes me want to drive the car at night all the time. Your light is emitted from a number of different sources. It's emitted from up top here, from under your door panels, inside your cup holders, and as well in the footwell area. Now, as with everything else in the Porsche that's customizable, I want to show you something. You can actually click on, it's limited function while we're driving, So we will pull over in a second and demonstrate that. Our ambient lighting system, this is available in the Cayenne and the Panamera. You can switch from any number of these colors, and I'll go ahead and show you. Let's show you the door panel, for example. So poppy red, we've got dark orange, we've got warm white, we've got green, we've got Atlantis, and my favorite is the topaz blue. But what I particularly love about Porsche is the ability to be able to customize everything. So not only can you adjust the sensitivity overall in the different 4 zones, you can go from off to 100%, but you can actually come over here and individually select. And then on this PCM menu here, you can actually individually adjust what shows up here as well. For example, right now we've got start stop. I can turn that off right here. The Porsche Communication Management System, or the PCM. That is the large screen that you'll find at the center of your console. All of the Porsches now have this, with the Cayenne having the largest high definition screen. The screen essentially allows you to control any and all functions of the car outside of its actual driving. So the ability to select from these different sources. Despite this car's incredibly luxurious feel and beautiful exterior, it does perform incredibly well off-road as well. And this is simply, you don't have to select these, but if you know in advance or at the time that you're in one of these conditions and you apply these buttons, what it's going to do is let the car's transmission and drivetrain know that you're in this type of road surface, so they can adjust accordingly. So if you look over here, it's now highlighting what is actually affected by doing this. And in this car, because we have PASM again, remember the height is as well altered to adjust for whatever selection. This is amazing. So you can switch, you have so much control. So these are your vents, up, middle, down, of course. You've got an exterior ventilation panel that you can turn on and off. And from every position, it's showing you where that air is coming from. If you click comfort, now you can actually adjust individually for the passenger and the driver's side the amount of air, if you want stronger air, regular, or softer, and that's independent of your actual fan speed controls. And one other thing you can do is you can actually, and this is incredible, in the footwell, again, drivers and passenger side are separate, you can actually adjust for the air to be slightly cooler, the same temperature that's set over here, or slightly warmer than what's set. Check the weather, for example, and it'll give you that information. There we go. Right now it is 44 degrees. It's giving you the moon rise and moon set, percent of precipitation, wind, and so on and so forth. Your safety features are over here. So lane change assist, which you'll find in all the Porsches, is that light that turns on in the mirrors. Are all equipped with lighting that's in your side view mirrors that will detect a vehicle in your blind spot and alert you to it by lighting up the mirror. So if you'll see at this moment that mirror is lit, that light tells you there is a vehicle in your blind spot. Once that vehicle's out of your blind spot, the light turns off. Porsche Active Safe, we've got surround assistance, depending upon what, if you have adaptive cruise control, that'll be displayed over here. If you have night vision assist, we will see that over here. So you do have a lot of, you scroll all the way to the bottom, the owner's manual, and you've got a lot of different choices. You have an index, you have contents, but most importantly, video instructions. So you can actually click, you can actually watch videos. So let's look at this. Look at that. Alrighty, so what I'd like to demonstrate now, one of my favorite features of the Cayenne and Porsches in general is our PDLS, Porsche Dynamic Lighting System. They're LED lights. They give you superb visual of the road. This is a dark load that is not lit with street lights, but one of the great features that I love about this is as we approach this curve, I want you to watch the beams of the headlight. As I turn, the beams are actually turning with my steering wheel input. And what they do is they light up the path in the direction that the car is going to be going based on the steering wheel input. So what happens is you're going to end up lighting the roadway before your headlights actually turn in that direction to light the roadway. So you're going to get a lot better visual of what's ahead because you're seeing it just before the car has a chance to point in that direction, to point it out to you. So here we are again. Now we're going to approach this corner. As I turn, the lights are turning with me. You notice these are my low beams. They're not distracting the other drivers, but they're giving me, and these are the high beams if you need them. They're incredibly bright. They do light up the whole roadway. But again, just to demonstrate the lights, if you notice, they are turning as we turn. And that function does work with the high beam as well. It's just a little, as if you notice there, I will drive like I am not maintaining my lane, just to demonstrate how that light. Well, folks, I really want to thank you for joining me on this virtual test drive. If you're seeing this, I know that you've watched the entire video, and I truly appreciate that. I'm open to any and all feedback and suggestions, please. This is new to us as a dealership. It's new to me as a brand ambassador. And I really want to make sure that these videos, this being the first in a series to come, do give you as the consumer or the viewer what it is that you're looking for, something that'll help you. So the idea here is to give you an introduction to a car without actually having to drive one. So if there's stuff in here that you thought wasn't really helpful, please let me know. If there's stuff you would have liked to have seen that you didn't, please let me know. Subscribe, follow us, and most importantly, reach out to me. I would love to sell you a Porsche. We have a tremendous inventory. We're one of Porsche's top dealerships in the country, and I would love to be able to find that right Porsche for you, whether it's a Cayenne or whether it's new or pre-owned. We have many CPOs. We do actually have a pretty neat inventory of non-Porsches that come in on trades and whatnot as well. So again, my name is Cameron. Truly enjoyed our time together and look forward to meeting in person. Thank you so much. Take care.